Welcome to Gamebreakers. My name's Thomas. I'm here with Allison, Shragon, and Will, and we are continuing our Dungeons and Dragons game, which is kind of an offshoot of the Tomb of Annihilation. Uh, if you don't know what I mean by that, clearly you have some catching up to do. So go catch the VODs and pause this. I'll see you later. Bye. What are you still doing here? Go. So great, you hit play again. All right, so the party has found itself following the trail of their friend Wayne. By trail, I mean a silvery ribbon passing through the air, ephemerally, and by their friend Wayne, I mean an angel turned Wayne into an arrow, killed a demon with it, and then shot him across the plains, apparently at a god. You have fought and defeated and killed the Yugoloth Devixinim several times now on your journeys, and have recently on the road to the labyrinthine maze temple of Ubtao, located in the Outlands. You have run into and joined forces with Wayne's mother, Imdala, as well as the spirit of his grandfather. Who did I introduce him?
Very briefly. It's like, this is who he is. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
Howard, what are you going to do next?
She didn't. I don't think she spoke his name. She just refers to him familiarly as father and papa and things like that.
I thought you said it was Umdao.
Correct. I did say that.
Note taker.
Well played. Thank you. May D20s be showered, or may natural 20s be showered upon you. So, you've been on the road for a few hours now. Have taken a few breaks. It's been, I mean, weird but lovely. You are in a patch of very dense jungle terrain. Very much, almost, well, by very much I mean exactly matching the jungles of Chult that you were just in. Like heat, humidity, it's all exactly what you left. God, 1,000 years ago. What is even time? But at the beginning of this journey, it is exactly the weather patterns that you just left.
Or we will leave 1,000 years in the future.
Exactly. Should have had what's the Hitchhiker's Guide had the planar temporal reverse future perfect or something like that. Anyway, you find yourself in a strange situation in a strange place that is even more strangely familiar with someone who is familiar with your missing friend, and it's very strange. But this woman, dressed in queenly garb. I mean, this is gold woven, very very expensive types of fabric and things. Dressed for heaven. And you're walking up the road, having conversations about being focused and what exactly is your plan. And meanwhile, there's a smash cut to something in the forests, moving, tracking, watching. So, Is there any preparations you all are taking? Any specific information you'd like to be trying to get from Imdala or Ubdao?
What is the how far are we away from Ubtao? Like,
She said you'd get there within within as much as there is an evening. Before you needed to sleep.
okay. So I have an idea. I think we should, all these duplicate magical items that we just got, I think we should offer them as like tribute and glory of our battles recently won as part of our conversation with Ubtao. I think that sounds like a good opener.
Can we offer the ones we don't want?
Well, we already have like a whole set, and then there was also art that we found. I think the art objects, including those. Too many tabs open. But yeah, we had the spell of the gloves of spell enhancement, the staff of Arcanoloth, the cloak of shadows we got. And that was it also the amulet of spell absorption from him. Yeah.
And those gloves you're wearing.
And there's also
Yeah.
something about fire control.
Oh yeah, the ring of elemental command.
Fire. Yep.
Well, like if we want to take one of them, like I understand, but I think we should offer as much as we can. The planar art objects, the bag of holding. That's just more utilitarian. I don't think that's.
Maybe some of the adamantine also.
Oh yeah, right. That'd be good.
I mean,
Sacrifice is appropriate.
is there a particular thing that is customarily offered to Ubtao? Like, is there a certain thing that he likes?
God, a hunt. This as tokens of victory over another predator. I think he would accept a sacrifice.
A sacrifice? Like we should go get something and...
He would accept the sacrifice of these things. As in, you would give them to him.
Yeah.
Sacrificing your ownership over them. Sacrifice something you lose. Yeah? Did no one teach you faith?
Well, the word blood and the word sacrifice were both in that sentence, and I kind of wondered if we were talking about them together, that's a different thing.
There are many things to sacrifice. This should be appropriate. If you think you can find and have the proper prayers at the proper time, but you don't know them to sanctify a hunt.
Are you going with us? Do you want to be our... would you be willing to advocate for us? Certainly you know all the proper protocols.
I am there to see my son. But on the way, I will prepare you for your encounter with Ubtao.
All right, so who's got the highest charisma? 1, 2, 3, not it.
Mine's 14. I mean,
Well then, you should all hope that you are prepared to conquer his maze well.
yes. Yeah.
Ubtao lives at the center of a labyrinth. You did not think you would just walk through it.
Yeah, we were just about to arrive there, right?
It is probably time to warn you what lays inside.
How does he feel about cheating? Can we just cheat? Would that be regarded as helpful?
Do you think you could?
I don't know.
She says
That's
this
the
with
test.
open disdain.
Maybe that's the test. Maybe it's like, well, the dummies didn't have to walk around. All they had to do is climb up on top. And
You think you could defeat the god of planning by cheating? Perhaps you should not. You may not have their mindset.
no, not defeat. Maybe that's what he wants. Maybe it's a trick question. Maybe he's
And
just
you-
like snickering, like,
And though he has accepted all the souls who have done as he asked them to do, you think there is a special prize for disobedience?
Yeah, I suppose not the god of trickery.
Perhaps it is dangerous for you to enter with. But if you walk the path as intended, I'm sure the angel's arrow will help if Ubtao allows it. But it does not negate what this maze is. It's not a simple hedge path to run your left hand along the wall. This
you know that trick?
This maze is your life. You will walk through the maze, which is you. And if you know the path through it, then you will make it to the other side. There is no cheating. You either know who you are and how you came to be, or you do not.
yep, totally. Good point. Thanks.
Now, if you think it is worth the diversion, you have mentioned that this time creature throne, this Yugoloth at you more than once, yeah?
Yeah.
Then it probably has a third time.
Is it like rule of threes?
This was a story. But whatever the reason, there is something coming. Perhaps you could hit. I could perform the ceremony to
You're cutting out a
sanctify
little.
you. And I could perform the ceremony to sanctify your hunt to.
Oh, please.
This may buy you favor when you are through the maze. But I don't think it will make your path easier.
Perhaps we could also offer, when we get back and defeat the Soulmonger curse, that we should throw a party in his honor, and that is meticulously planned.
Ah, let's see what you did there.
Think a war requires planning. It is a party of a kind.
I mean, I guess if you have fun, wherever you can have fun, right?
How about we
There's a
set
lot
up
more
the
flashy
Oob
stuff
Tavern?
to steal at a party. Say that.
How about we set up the Oob Chow Inn or the Oob Tavern or something?
Ooh, right?
There could be lots of drinking games and even battles of a sort. Intricately planned, of course.
Some axe throwing joint.
While you prepare for your hunt and plan for your encounter, I'm going to take a moment. And she looks at Azaka Stormfang with you. And she just like walks over to her and whispers something into her ear. And then just like start with her hands behind her starts walking down the pathways, and Azaka just looks like rained of color. I don't know if anybody has the perception chops to have maybe heard something, but at the very least, Azaka heard it and seems to have reacted strongly. Um, and she then follows Imdara. What do you all do?
What's her name? The Wayne's mom?
Imdala?
My note is so wrong. How do you spell that?
I haven't really, but in my head it's I am apostrophe DALI.
I had Eboa for some reason. It's like I don't know how I got that.
Because I've been pronouncing the L really sibilant. So it like a super soft L.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Almost a TH. So anyway, you have a moment to yourselves.
Gosh, she really is a mom. Like, oh, I feel so much relief now that she's gone for a minute.
You don't having some difficulty with such direct questions.
Oh, you had it easy. You didn't know you weren't the directed at you mostly because you weren't here for that. So like, don't pretend that you.
Well, I was out here looking for exotic animals to imitate, and now I'm gonna get an audience with a god. Not my pantheon, or even one I've really heard of before, but still, surprises. So yeah, those are good questions. Want to pay attention. Offerings are good. But Oobtao is directly involved with this soulmonger?
Potentially, Rosnisi. He empowers him later, who then becomes a corrupt paladin, and then a Malison. And now he's trying to bring back Dendar the Night Serpent, if I'm reading these notes right.
Those all sound like some big names there.
Broken literally has notes too. It's just like I gotta keep track of this lore. Like I gotta press these gods. Keep shit straight.
Well, if I recall, Dendar is the World Eater, right? That's the one that comes and eats the world. That's the end of it all.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so you don't want that.
No.
Maybe you should ask Ubtao to take care of Dendar. Ah, but if only gods were so involved, right? They'll just, give you a cryptic message and tell you to go deal with it yourself, and then claim the credit for it later.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
This god does seem to enjoy battle, and that might be enticing.
If anybody has a religion check they can throw on that, feel free.
I never really paid attention for that, but I'll.
Well, here we go. Nanette is trained,
One.
and Gom.
What have I heard from the clergy? I've been pickpocketing. An average amount, 13.
Gom has heard more.
So what you have heard of Ubtao and Dendar in relation to each other? That whatever kind of trap that you haven't really heard of, like why is Dendar not eating the world right now, but whatever is stopping him is involved with Ubtao somehow, like he's guarding a door or something, or capping or you never really heard the actual story, you just heard it referred cryptically to.
They've
But
been dancing this dance since time immemorial.
Yeah, you just haven't heard like the actual story, just cryptic references, but always in that sort of relation.
So,
Right, apart-
sharing that insight,
Hmm.
Throken, I'll say, it seems that perhaps Ubtao is already doing the thing, since the world has not yet been eaten.
Rosnisi is trying to do the one thing that he wouldn't want him to do. Do we don't know why he was corrupted and betrayed, do we? That's not the I don't believe I've heard the motivation. I guess those things are often lost to history.
Yeah, not part of the story.
Actually, the story, as told, just from player to player, was, and then he turned against the city. So that was the story given. No further questions were asked.
Yep.
Historical heel. Yeah.
Hey, Indela, do you know anything about the?
He is in an
History.
intense conversation with Azaka and just puts a finger up at you.
Okay.
Perhaps that's something to ask Ubtao about Rosnisi.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I put some notes about which items we'd like to offer. I want to add the spell book from the Necromancer that we vanquished as an offering.
That's a great one.
A token from a different glorious battle. If nobody objects or stops him, Chippy's going to start a ritual to the Guiding Hand spell, which lasts 8 hours and may or may not help us find our way through wherever we go.
What is the hand going to point toward?
I'm going to say the god Ubtao at the center of the maze.
Oof. Someone in history must have visited the site and mapped it. That last part is
So it fizzles.
yeah, I'm gonna say to this, to that specific, there is no way mapped through. There is no map that in this very specific building. There is no map in existence. But I'm gonna say, oh, it was a ritual, so it doesn't cost you a slot. But that's also it.
So I spend 11 minutes and then find out that it didn't work. Yay!
That's all right.
Hmm. So we're
So
currently
you were
making.
asked to stop the Ross Nisi,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't really know who or why he needs to be stopped. Or no, he wants to bring back Dendar,
Yes.
but
And
how
I
that's related to. Wait,
is he
aren't you
using
on a
the
quest for
soulmonger?
some artifact of souls?
Yeah, I think the soulmonger artifact is what he's using to feed Dendar potentially, or some other mechanism to free him. That's my guess. Um, we were supposed to go to what, Omu? So many planes ago, it's hard to remember. You can see how people get lost when they travel the planes. Like where is the real reality? Or our home reality anyway, because it's all reality. Except maybe the Feywild. That place never made sense. Gems can turn to
Have you,
sand, not a place that I want to be.
haven't
Oh,
been.
the Feywild's great. What are you talking about? You always go where you're supposed to go.
Have you been to Automata?
No.
Say what?
That's where I found Nanette.
Ah.
And, with an increase of buzzing from the hive inside me, out comes a bee. The sparkly mechanical one. As they're all mechanical bees. Yes, that's where we first met. It was an Automata.
Nice.
Chippy's going to start doing the ritual version of Rary's telepathic bonding. Since everybody's just chatting and hanging out. 8 creatures?
That sounds right.
It's the party.
I know we've stopped kind of to have this discussion, and we're gonna get there. Potentially get to. Sound like we were gonna get to the labyrinth this evening. Did we maybe camp outside the labyrinth and then start in the morning? Maybe do some rituals tonight. I think that was my understanding of our timing. Or we were gonna. Oh, we were gonna do a hunt, right? Or were we hunting Ubtao? I was confused about
I
that.
think we're supposed to go through the maze. We were offered a rite of the hunt as a blessing.
Oh,
a
that okay.
ceremony to help us in the travels ahead.
We will hunt for the exit.
She specifically mentioned that she suspects that the Fane has sent, if not Divixinum, something else that is stalking you right now, and that
Oh,
if you wanted to prepare to hunt it back, she would sanctify that hunt.
so
Oh,
that's what we should do
I
tonight.
missed that part. Let's do that.
Ooh, yeah, fun.
So yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll get to the labyrinth, which we're close to. God, this Fane. I'm tired of it. Is it another Diviximon? I mean, we will. Oh my God. I'm so sick of that guy. But if I didn't have to keep killing him, that would, that'd be one thing.
Last time the quote unquote smash cut right as we were exiting did mention him by name, so I think we can count on it's the same guy.
But
Although
in character,
I don't
none of
think
you
in
know.
character we'd know that.
No.
That was the narrator whom we're not supposed to hear.
Yeah, that's what smash cut means.
There it is.
Fourth wall, blah. We're crossing
Well,
planes now. We might as well
Nanette
break the
would
fourth wall.
approach Roken and say, "If you want to take to the shadows and stalk ahead, I'll give you some guidance." And says a word and a message and gives you guidance.
Oh,
The
sweet.
cantrip.
You may want to wait until after the ceremony. Because ceremony takes an hour to cast. She would know that.
That's cantrip. We could just practice.
Yeah. If there's nothing else, this is about the time that Imdala and her father are coming back alongside Azaka, who is she's very tightly contained right now.
She got mom's blamed.
Is there any healing that's needed still?
That
was something
I think she hit you all with like a mass
Yeah.
cure wounds, but that
I'm good.
I'm not sure. Oh, but you guys have had short rests then, but not a long. So, if you wanted to spend hit dice that you forgot to do, I think everybody's up though. If anybody wants to throw an insight check, if you looked like you were, or Allison had some suggestions as to what trying to read Azaka's face.
Yeah, I'll make a roll. $26.
Ooh. With a 26, she's not that deceptive. Like, you have seen a lot of people meet a lover's parent before, like first introduction to the family. And she got called out. You could she had been silent and listening this whole time, just like, I am big dumb fighter. I have no input. I listen to smart people. That was the face she was putting on, and got called out, called to the side, and like there was clearly probably the thing she whispered was something like I can tell that you and my son are together, or something like that. Like, the jig is up. That's what you're seeing there, is that real awkward, just met the parents for the first time, and it was not in the best circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Hey, sometimes he takes you home to meet the parents. Sometimes he gets shot across the multiverse. Whatever. Romance. D&D stuff. But hey, Imdala gathers you all. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Then she leads you through for the next hour, leads you through some prayers and some, like, stand up, kneel, prostrate. This is, take this position. guides you through the ceremony. Which she has some some materials in the front. There's a like a concoction of powdered silver that boils away into blood, and there are entrails cast. And at the end of it, you have received the dedication ceremony. I'm gonna say she can do it for more. For each of you, she will for the next 24 hours. Whenever you make a saving throw, you roll a d4 and add the number to the roll to the save.
Woo! D4 to saving throws.
You will never be able to get this again. You just got dedicated to Ubtao.
It's a one time.
One-time deal. Right? No one else would take you now. Oof. Oh, I don't need that guy on my door. So the hunt begins. What do you do?
Offer guidance to Roken before they slip away into hide and seek.
Okay. Dive off into the jungle or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything, or?
Do you want me to roll stealth?
Yeah, stealth and some survival would be appropriate, unless you have some other way to track your prey.
So stealth is 11. And then what's my survival?
Nana and Gomer are going to work together.
I got 22 on the survival.
Nice.
But I stepped on all the twigs. Snap, snap, snap!
Before we head off into the jungle, Chippy, really fast, is going to bow to Imdala and say, "Thank you so much, High Priestess, for your assistance."
I shall wait here for you.
And then he's going to bow a couple more times as he backs up toward following the others, and then run off.
All right. And Azaka is with you, by the way. And as you go out, again, like once you've disappeared off into the jungle, Ubdal looks at Imdala and just kind of like looks at your path, and she's like, "Yes, of course." And he goes and like is sort of like slowly going in after you.
Starts looking for a trail, and I have a 26 from me and Nana working together.
Exceptional. So you find two different things. Each of you, because those are some pretty impressive successes. The first thing you find is Roken up front. You cross, like you have doubled back enough and done enough swirls that you've come across a trail that is not yours or your friend. Right? You've crossed your own trail several times, leading them through, just to like, if you're being followed, you're doubling back to try and catch whomever. And this time you did. You find footprints that do not match any of your companions following in the path of your companion. In those double backs where you're kind of like following Roken from not far behind Gom, you note an exceptional ambush spot where if you were to stop and prepare and have a little bit of time to hide and prepare, there's a very like sort of like a not a waterfall, but a small rivulet going down an embankment that has carved out sort of a bowl underneath that the road goes through. But the up at the top, there's a lot of options for an ambush.
I will telepathically communicate this over our bond, showing both the location and the ambush to indicating to the party. We should do this.
Fun.
Nanette agrees and dives into the hive to hide inside of Gom.
Chippy's going to use a stage whisper inside the telepathy thing, which is obviously unnecessary. And he's going to say, locate the creature. And then he's going to start casting a spell. You might have guessed the spell is locate creature.
Indeed.
Nice.
All right, so that's a concentration, right? And it's like an hour.
Yeah, 1 hour with concentration. The only snag here is it does say if there's 10 or more feet of moving water between you and the creature, and it's 1,000-foot range. But if there's a river between us and him, then
it's not 10 feet. It's less than 5 feet. It's a very narrow rivulet that just over time has dug out an embankment.
Well, I mean, since we're right next to it, I guess I could jump to the other side if I had to. But doesn't matter. 1,000-foot range. I don't remember what the casting time is. Sorry, hold on.
I think it's a minute. It might be an action.
One action.
Nice. Go ahead and mark it off. There is not currently a Devixenim or a Yugoloth. I don't know how you're targeting it. But not currently within 1,000 feet. However, this lasts like an hour, right? So if the moment one comes in, you will get a ping. As long as you're constant.
Gom's gonna take some time to try to find how to best hide in place.
Okay.
I'm gonna have an assistant try to see if they can like look and see if it's a good spot or not. I think maybe this is a good place to use aid and advantage.
Okay. Get some advantage on that stealth check. Or guidance even. That can get passed around the crew. You guys have plenty of time to prepare.
At some point, maybe Chippy will. Well, he gave his broom to the. He probably didn't get his broom back from Mario yet. Okay, so Alex is going to cast.
Assuming Mario's with you, or Ohm is with you and can pass it along.
Okay, so he's going to hop on his broom, and then Alex and he are going to fly straight up for I don't know, a little ways above the jungle and just see if there's any visual anything they can see. You want a perception check?
Yeah, at disadvantage.
Even if we help each other?
That will flatten it out and negate that.
So I think Alex has better perception, so Chippy will help her.
Okay.
Gom goes through a couple different positional orientations.
Okay.
Before settling. Nanette thinks it looks good.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. So, Roken, what are you up to?
Continuing to follow the trail.
Well, it's gonna circle back to this ambush spot, right? It now. I mean, the trail is following your trail,
I see.
but now you finally crossed over and caught it. It's definitely been following for a while, but it's like if you're in a dogfight, you finally got turned far enough that like aha, found the ribbon.
I see. Um.
Oh.
Come on. What?
I will say that as you're following, give me another survival.
$21. I rolled really well.
This one's not going to be for Gom. This is specifically for Roken. Okay. So you notice, Roken, that at one point there are too many left feet. And that tips you off that there is not just one Arcanoloth with this footprint. There is more than one.
Damn it. I should regroup with the team and let them know.
And that is right about the time that Chippy, you get a ping as Roken is hustling through the jungle. Are you staying stealthy, or are you just like beeline back to the ambush spot?
How far am I?
1,500 feet. I mean, you were ranging out on your trail a little. Well, no. You're. I mean, you were following it for a little while, so I'd say like 500.
Okay. I mean, we kind of want it to come to our ambush spot, right? Wouldn't? Yeah,
That's
I'll just make a break for it.
Okay.
Rary's telepathic bond works over any distance as long as we're on the same plane as each other. So
Also true.
you don't have to, like Chippy says, "Hey, it's there. Do I see it? I see the direction, right?"
Or are we connected mentally? Did I miss that?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I'll just let them know then that way. There are at least 2 of them.
Ooh.
And Chippy, that is about the moment that you get ping, ping, ping.
We got 3, I think. Yay.
Oh, it better not be all the same bastard.
And at exactly 1,000 feet, like 999 feet, they stop immediately and then move back out of the range.
I will relay this detail.
So they won't come near where we are?
We're using magic to locate this creature to Vixen. We also know that this creature is a caster. So assume that they have some of those same arcane options that we do.
You get from that same direction that Roken is, you get another ping. You get like the sense of 1 there, and then from like 40 degrees around the circle at again 100 about exactly 1,000 feet, one of them comes in at bing, one exactly like 1 foot in, and then they both leave.
Ah, it's a game. They're playing with us.
There's a ping from due south, and then another ping from the east.
So they know that we know. But do they know that we know that they know? Probably. Since they're pinging us in different places.
You get, Chippy, you get 3 pings from up and to the right, up and to the left, and up and forward. Ding ding. And then immediately leave again.
They're still doing this thing. What do you think is their long-term strategy of?
Give me an Arcana check.
That is one heck of a arcana there.
Oh, I just saw that pop. Yikes. A 32. I assume Alex was helping.
I hope so.
So they're triangulating. The locate creature spell is monodirectional and only gives you 1 piece of information about distance within 1,000 feet, yes or no. So somewhere that way at 1,000 feet, but you do know exactly the moment it pings that you've crossed the 1,000-foot threshold. So they're pinging you from multiple directions to get your exact spatial coordinates with a 1,000 foot ping.
They're trying to figure out where to cast a fireball or some shit.
They're locating us in the same way that we're trying to locate them.
Yeah, this is multiple casters using locate object with a 32. Dead certain of it. Like you know this technique. You know of this technique, that is. What do you all do?
Well, over the telepathic bond, clearly staying in place is merely going to be them approaching and still knowing. I wonder if they're all locating the same person or trying to locate a different person. We caught 3 pings, was that correct? 3 individual pings?
Oh, more than that. At least half a dozen from different sides. So they're circling us and pinging, and so I have a suggestion. I can cast a spell. Gives us about a 100 by 100 foot square, inside which they cannot detect or teleport. But I'm thinking that maybe doing it right here is not the best idea. Despite the greatness of this ambush spot, should we do that here and stay here, or should we go somewhere else to like fool them about the location?
It's a good ambush spot. Even if we know we'll be crossing here, we might still be able to get the jump on them. Even if.
But I mean, are we still ambushing even though they know we're right here?
Well, it's better than standing in 2 open fields and shooting at each other.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cast the Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum, which just takes 1 action to cast, and that will prevent them from teleporting in and out or using further divination, so they won't be able to see us from a distance. Should I make it opaque externally, or I'm thinking we don't want it to be visibly any different.
That sounds great. I like that.
Okay, I'm going to cast that.
How big?
Let's see, 100 foot by 100 foot.
It doesn't have to be that big, but it can be.
And it does not require concentration, so I guess
it does take 10 minutes to cast.
Oh.
Okay, you can begin.
No, one action. One action. It's not a ritual.
Not according to Roll20. Casting time, 10 minutes.
Is that... because I have it as one... Is there a UA that has updated it or changed it? I wonder.
What source are you using?
Players.
D&D Beyond, also 10 minutes. So there's been errata.
Yep, Beyond places it at 10 minutes.
Yo, errata.
Huh.
But that makes sense because other similar spells are also longer casting time.
Yeah.
But you can start now.
Okay. And presumably the anti-divination part will not take effect until the end, so I'll still have the locate creature part going anyway.
Correct. Can't be targeted by divination spell.
So, I think that's used. Takes 10 minutes. If they went in a straight, just doing some math, if they went in a straight line and like flew straight here unimpeded, it would take about 5 minutes. But I assume that some of that's going to be overland travel. And if it's going to be overland, and there is rough terrain, then that does give us about 10 minutes, especially if they continue this travel.
Yeah.
Trying to triangulate.
And that's about exactly the moment, Chippy, when you feel ping, ping, ping.
Hmm.
It's the website is the one that listed as one action, so maybe it's just their error.
I
I
think it's
posted
been
that in the chat.
updated. We're talking about UA updates and stuff. Errata.
Yeah. D&D Beyond is a better source.
Mm-hmm. It's the current.
The one thing I don't like about D&D Beyond is that if you don't have their paid whatever, it often just tells you, "Oh, that's in this book, which you don't have, so we can't show
Yeah.
you."
Well, Shakespeare got to eat, but it does. It at the very least, it tells you where to look
Yeah.
for the most updated. Like it probably got updated in Fizzband something or Tosh's, right? So the player, if you're working off the SRD or the players, sorry.
Right.
What is
So
SRD?
system resource document. That's the open game, what's available for OGL. Like it's the reason why it's in any, if anybody's writing that's not Wizards, it's not Mordenkainen's private sanctum, it's private sanctum, because Mordenkainen is not a free a free
Right,
piece of
it's copyrighted,
IP. Yeah.
like the big OGL scandal that just
Yeah.
went down. Anyway,
So anyway,
So, telepathically,
ping, ping,
I'd
ping.
say math. Maybe it works. Try it. Maybe. Maybe not. Start that 10-minute timer.
Do we take a
Oh.
break in the middle of these sessions, or do we just go through now? I can't remember.
We often do, and
It's a good time
are
for it.
you?
I didn't. You both spoke at once. I don't. I didn't. If that was a question at me, I
Yeah,
don't know.
we often do. And I had it was in my mind. So, are you going to go ahead and cast your private sanctum?
yeah, sorry, I thought I said that a few minutes ago.
Okay. Well, once we found out it was 10 minutes, it became a question. So, go ahead and you begin casting the spell. Over the course of it, you do feel like for 3 or 4 more minutes, like pings around, and then you feel at the 7 minute mark, you feel three uh, pings that stay and are from a continuous direction, not together though. There are two that way and one over that way, and they are incoming. You have 3 minutes to prepare. If they're going at maximum air speed, your direction. If something slows them down, I mean, you've seen Divixinum fly. Assuming it's flying, you have 3 minutes before incoming. Or no, you have 5 minutes. 3 minutes until the sanctum is up. So you've got 5 minutes of prep time if they are all flying, and you might have more. What do y'all do?
Gom stays well hidden. It seemed, and he's counting down watching that telepathic bond, running a little timer of ticking. Time till cast. Time till approach.
You're
I
all
will
in.
prepare to loose a spell in the last minute
Okay.
of their approach. I will hold action to cast that spell.
Roken, anything you do?
I'm going to prepare a spell. I'm going to prepare to cast Blur on myself. But it only lasts a minute, so I'm going to wait until they're real close.
Okay.
Right before the fight starts, I'm going to cast Blur on myself. So I will make the preparations for that. Yeah. That's what I do.
All right. Chippy, one thing you notice as the casting of the spell is coming along just fine. At about the 2.5 minute mark, all three of the directions that you are tracking shift by about 15 degrees and continue moving inward instantaneously.
I will try to pass along that sensation telepathically to the others with a raised eyebrow.
Give it an Arcana check real quick. This would be under your purview.
With help from Alex.
Indeed. Excellent. So he's almost certainly teleported. You've seen it happen before, and that like instantaneous travel along a sphere or along a vector. That's there was no like turn and move. You can feel direction of travel. That didn't change. It was zoop, boing, zoop, and continuing the same direction. So
I cast a spell.
okay, so it's 2.5 minutes in. What do you cast?
Speak with plants.
Okay.
And I tell the plants in the area around me to help hide my friends.
Okay.
And clear the way for them as they move about. And when this Yugoloth arrives here, make sure to get in his way.
Okay.
Which I
How
carry
long does
on
that
in
last?
Druidic.
That's speak with plants. Give me.
It says you can turn difficult terrain caused by plants into ordinary terrain, or ordinary terrain into difficult. Which is
That's within 30 feet. Okay. All right. And that's 10 minutes. Okay, cool.
And I'll continue speaking with him in whispers, and maybe kind of bat at his face a little bit and poke him in the eye when he walks by. And snag on his belt, you know.
They're into it. There's more than one carnivorous plant in the patch. They're open to the idea of something fertile dying here. Because it's the jungle and everything wants to eat you. And as you make that realization and Gom cast the spell, boop, it happens again. You're about 2 minutes from the end of your spell, and that is, or from the activation of the sanctum, and that is where we will take our break. So in maybe a little more than 2 minutes, we'll see you right back. Meanwhile, from all of us here at Gamebreakers, stick around and have a good game.